Hey, everyone ever wondered how to make 600,000 euros? Here is a tongue-in-cheek guide from the owner of Copenhagen Dance Education. Convince our 50 students to sign up for the program of their dreams. Then push them to reserve their spot, what means to pay urgently. Then announce the program is closing and don't return the money. Sounds shady? I'm in. That's exactly what happened to me and nearly 40 other students from around the world. This story is packed with so much absurdity and mystery, it honestly feels like something Netflix needs to pick up. So if you are a producer watching this right now, let's make it a series. This is part 5, the final chapter of this nightmare. Today I'll tell you how it all ended and what came next. If you haven't seen the earlier parts yet, check the links in the description. Trust me, it will recolor your evening and shock you. In the last vlog, I left off with a chilling scene. Equipment going missing from our dance studio. Someone was taking things out of the studio at 2 AM in the morning. And every time I came to the studio, everything was out of place and something was always missing. Chairs rearranged, equipment gone, and stuff mysteriously shifted around. We later discovered that one of the students, Ellie, who was her right hand, had links to the owner, Joe, who had flown to America and vanished with our money. Apparently, Joe asked Ellie to retrieve certain items from the studio, and also she asked her to pass a message to Ukrainians. If you remember, it's dance studio owners where I'm working at, and she was just apologizing for not saying goodbye after she threatened to throw them out of the studio and demanded money. And in general, we don't know why they are in contact. When we directly asked Ellie, she said they are in contact because of her mentorship and Joe is helping her with some stuff. Personally, it's outside of this whole situation and don't have anything to do with it. And take a look at one particular message in our Facebook parents group where all the victims of Joe shared their stories and provided any useful information. Only God knows how much of this is true, and if it is true, can you imagine the true nature of this woman? Although there are so many messages from people, facts and crazy actions of hers that suggest it's quite likely that this could indeed be true. Here is one small and important detail. There is a secondary entrance to the dance studio through a boxing club. If that club is open, you can sneak through their corridor and storeroom like a secret back door into our studio. And since we had only a couple of keys, everyone deserved to access the studio as everyone had paid a significant amount of money. And this was the only opportunity to make use of the situation, you know, and sometimes the girls would pass through this box club when it was open. Guys, so what about my own life? If you remember, I came to live with the host family and they were found for me by some amazing volunteers who help Ukrainians. The place they live in is actually really charming and the people are wonderful, but it all felt so unfamiliar. I honestly couldn't understand why I was here or what I was even supposed to do next. I was just going to a dance studio just to train for myself and teaching one heels class a week and later 2 classes. And meanwhile, Copenhagen municipality was working on registering me through a support program for Ukrainians. They were preparing all my documents, including the CPR number. I really needed financial help, and under this program I was required to go to the job center every single day from 8 to 3:30 and attend Danish language classes every other day. I didn't get why I had to do all this, but it was the only way to receive financial support because we are basically considered unemployed. So I waited for my papers to go through, and that sweet host family told me they had a spare bike left behind by another Ukrainian girl who lived with them before, and that I could use it. And honestly, that was a blessing because transportation in Denmark is crazy expensive, and this way I could save a lot of money. But when it was cold or raining, riding was pure torture. But in general, it gave me a kind of peace, but I was often tired though, because the distances were long. And then October came, my birthday. That morning, the lady from the host family invited me out for a birthday breakfast at a cute cafe. And just look at this beauty. I ate enough for the whole year ahead. Here in Denmark, when it's your birthday, cafes give you a Danish flag so everyone knows it's your special day. Such a sweet little tradition. And the gift from the host family, they gave me a 70 euro gift card to a dance shop with some beautiful printed dance photos and a handwritten note. That meant so much to me. I was honestly deeply grateful. It gave me joy, warmth in my heart, like I mattered, you know. Later I baked brownies and met up with my girls. They wrote me the kindest messages and we sat in the grass at a nearby park. There were chocolates and flowers from the Ukrainian family who owns the dance studio I work at. I really tried to focus on the positives, to see the good sides of everything that was happening, to find the lessons and to ask myself, what did this chapter teach me? But the question of what do I do next never left me. And sadly I fell into depression and apathy. Guys, it is terrifying waking up and not wanting to live. It's so scary. I lost my sense of meaning, my goals, my joy for the little things around me. Everything felt soaked in negativity, even hate towards the world. I kept dreaming of my dad and my grandma, knowing they're still in occupied territory and that I can't even call them. That just broke me. But now let's go back to the story. So my last vlog ended with Jo sending us a poem again, but this time she's claiming this is factual information and 100% truth, what the reality is. Don't miss it, press play, and let's read it. I'm reaching out with a very clear message to anyone involved in my having to close down Sto HJ as a CVR company and Copenhagen Dance Education as a brand, plus anyone else I owe money. This is the factual information, the full truth, 100% truth. There is absolutely nothing I can do to change the situation, as much as it pains me every day to know my decision to close down affected so many. So let's give a round of applause for transparency. I didn't scam anyone nor commit fraud.
Ready? Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
She didn't scam us. I didn't close everything down to walk away with money for myself or my family. I never wished for this and did everything I could. The fact is, I have been mentally sick for a long time. The only right thing to do was to close everything down and realize I was not in any state to be in charge of the business. That doesn't make me a criminal, it makes me a person who tried to do the right thing but wasn't able to. You know, it's just a regular Tuesday in the life of a business owner. I kept fighting to the very last second to keep the business open, the business I built and ran for 15 years.
Oops!
I believed I could save it until I finally sent out the email declaring insolvency, but there was nothing more to do. I have all the proof of how it all happened and will share this with the court. In the end, I had to declare myself insolvent and close everything down. Since that day, my life has been hell on earth and I don't know if I'll ever be able to live a normal life again. I had to close the business because there was no more money and I was too mentally sick to keep fighting. Because who needs a stable income, right? I have not moved to America, I'm here now to be with my son, until I have to go back to Denmark to settle everything. I'm still a Danish citizen and have not run away. Like many others in history, I went bankrupt and lost everything. I no longer have a job, future income or anything to support my family. I own nothing, absolutely no security for the future. I don't have a single dime to my name, so no matter how much you wish for me to pay for my mistakes, I can assure you I pay for them every single day with the lack of being able to live at all. I opened an LLC in America because I wanted to open a business in the United States when I got my visa. However, that visa is no longer a reality after the many social media posts. The LLC was made for the transition to move to America, which was always the plan to open CDE in the United States. I did not even finish opening the LLC before I went bankrupt in Denmark. And no, I did not take any money for myself and put it into the LLC. There was nothing, absolutely no money, all was invested in trying to save the business until the very last minute. As stated, I am bankrupt, own nothing, all I have is debt that I will have to pay off for the rest of my life. All the accusations of mental abuse, grooming and more I take very seriously and will comment on later when I'm hopefully strong enough. This was a whole other path added to my reality and I need to be stronger to open that door. I'm not hiding because I'm a criminal, I simply can't. The hate I've received from everywhere, the attacks on my son's life through emails and phone calls, and the fact that many wish to ruin my life and my son's life to feel justice. I'm very sick, this is factual statement backed by my doctor. I suffer from panic anxiety, PTSD and my body is in shock. I'm not claiming to be a victim, I'm just informing you of the facts of my reality and I realize that these are symptoms of my own actions. But this is my reality. I hope to return one day and tell the full story of what happened over the last 2 years that led to this, but right now I'm not mentally strong enough. It might take years before I can even do that. I won't respond to any more emails, I simply can't. I hope this email clarifies the reality and that there is absolutely nothing more I can do. Please let the current be the next part of this and let me focus on my son and his future by trying to get better. So 100% actual information, 100% bullshit.
Bullshit. I hollered bullshit on that.
Really, when? Some of our thoughts in our group after reading this email. Literally. Next day I was teaching at the studio and was already about to go home, so I'm walking out of the dance studio and right by the exit there is this little kitchen and the lights were off, totally dark, and I casually turn my head toward it and I swear I see this long white hair just floating in the dark. My breath literally caught in my chest. Someone was sitting there in complete silence in the dark. I squeaked trying to see better and... It is Ellie. But like, why was she just sitting there with the lights off? What was she even doing? For a second my heart dropped to my feet. Imagine being alone in the studio and suddenly seeing a figure with long white hair in the shadows.
Who's that?
Creepy or mysterious, you tell me. I asked her what she was doing here. She replied that some company was coming to pick up the refrigerator. I asked if she was selling it. She said no, that Josephine had written to her and asked her to come and give the refrigerator to the company. She claimed she didn't even know if she was selling it, saying she might just be giving it away. I asked why she was doing this. Why was she helping her? The answer was that she wasn't helping, she was just doing everything she could do. I said after everything she did to us, you're helping her? She sighed and fell silent. Then muttered something like, it's because of our personal relationship. I asked if her mom knew that Josephine was writing to her, and she said her mom was aware. Me, the girl, the Ukrainians, asked her 3 times to don't help Joe, to don't sell anything, and after that she came again. I told her no, the fridge stays here, you are leaving, and you are not taking anything else.
Don't ever do that again.
No more helping Joe. She just said okay. I waited for her to leave. She had come in while I was teaching and the door was open, and if you remember, she had already returned the keys after we first asked her to stop helping Joe. So I intentionally walked out with her to lock up behind us to make sure she left and everything is safe. Next day, I come to the studio and guess what?
Wait for it.
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 Wait for it. Wait for it. Keep waiting.
The fucking fridge is gone. Friends, how am I supposed to stay sane through all of this? I literally told her to her face, don't touch anything else. She looked me in the eye and said okay. Then waited until I cycled home. She had said someone was picking her up and she stayed in there. And she fucking came back and solved it. How? But how? There were 2 options. She either came in through the boxing club, the secret path, walked the buyers in through the storage room, or she had a second set of keys. But my gut tells me she came in through the boxing club. This is the message I sent her. Her answer: fridge was sold 2 weeks ago, customer just came to pick it up. She went through the boxing club. But I won't be at the studio anymore because going through the boxing club is not theft. And after Joe texted the Ukrainian dance studio owners. I'm sorry to have to sell stuff at the studio, but I'm trying to pay some people back by selling a few things. Whatever you guys agreed is of course your business. Also, she added, she asked to tell me to leave Ellie alone. She mentioned my name in that message. Honestly guys, I got scared. Here is what people in the group said. And just like she said, Ellie never came to the studio again. I never saw her after that day. But with the girls we started thinking someone else might still have a key, not the owner, someone connected to the job. Maybe she asked others to help her move things, because a month later, just when we had finally stopped talking about Ellie, someone stole the giant sound box. This is a 3,000 euro speaker, and that wasn't Joe's. It belonged to us, like the Ukrainian owners. So either someone helping Joe thought it was hers and took it, or someone just decided to steal it, knowing how messed up things were. Or the scariest option, it was a random stranger. Because honestly, we don't know. It's all guesses. My theory about someone helping Joe is just that, a theory. But it might have been an actual thief. And who knows what happens next time? Don't worry though, it's just a style. Yeah, when I told the Ukrainian owners the speaker was gone, they were shocked. We searched for 2 months. There were cameras near the building, we tried everything to get access. Next to us was a big space where elderly people played bingo, and some very strange people were always hanging out there. Some even looked homeless. They always smoked near our entrance, and I used to hold my breath when I walked in. Eventually we got hold of a security guy with access to the cameras, but the footage was already wiped from the night of the thefts. We spent 2 hours watching other days. Nothing suspicious, nothing helpful. And then one of our girls, one of who stayed from that education, was dancing alone in the studio, and suddenly 2 angry men stormed in. And they looked violent. They shouted at her, "Are you Joe?" She said no. She told them she was just a student, that Joe had disappeared to America, scanned them all, that she was also a victim. The men were still skeptical. "Are you sure you're not Joe? How do we find her? She owes us money.
Give me your fucking money!
We installed things in the studio, in the kitchen, everywhere in here, and she never paid." She was terrified, but they finally believed her and left. She ran immediately. After that, none of us wanted to be there alone, ever. The Ukrainians were still trying to find the soundbox and thought maybe it was those same workers who took it as payment. They wrote a big sign explaining who they were, that they had no connection to Joe, that they were like Ukrainians and just opened the studio, and that the soundbox belonged to them, that Ukrainian kids were upset, couldn't train without it. They also called the studio landlord, hoping maybe he came by and took it, but no, the soundbox never came back. A month later, one of the boxing club staff said he saw a man carrying stuff out of the studio at 2 a.m. Great, right? We don't know who it was. Maybe some relative of Joe, maybe a stranger. We honestly just hoped no one would touch us anymore. And we tried to somehow find life again after all of this. And how about this? Their family is raising money on Spot Fund. The goal is $6,000 and they've collected $980 so far. Nice! They emailed Spot Fund support saying there is a criminal on their platform. Let's hope some actions will be taken. Our group chat after we saw it. Guys, I'm completely soaked in this story. I tried to tell it to you in 5 vlogs, and honestly there are still so many details left untold. No words can really describe the pain we all went through, what I personally went through. Months have passed and nothing has moved forward. She's probably out there trying to live her life. The lawyers did everything they could, but sadly we never got justice. I have chills telling that, guys, honestly.
First day.
I was going to a job center for 3 weeks. I'd sit there almost all day, listen to random nonsense, make a resume, because they forced us to apply for any job, try to learn Danish, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So I got a job at a bakery. It was hard. I had no language, a strict and aggressive boss, and physically heavy work. I was posting on Facebook offering to walk dogs just to earn something because I needed money. I'd walk a dog and talk to her about all my problems. I swear, I felt like I was losing my mind. The dog was saving me. We had sometimes meet up with the girls and go out to explore Copenhagen nightlife, watch a few dance battles. Yeah, you forget for one evening, but then anxiety hits again. Here is one of the weird stories of me trying to find any opportunity. I saw a circus and I thought maybe I could ride them and work there, but it was 2 hours away from Copenhagen. They actually invited me to some event, said we could talk there, so I went, spent the entire day volunteering. It's 6 a.m. in the morning. I woke up at 5. It takes 2 hours and a half to go to the circus. I really think this is insane. Can you imagine how I love my dreams and actually dance in general? The most important thing that I still have that desire and small fire inside of me. I'm kind of proud that I don't give up, even in such a crazy long way. I don't know what it will bring me to, what will it give me, but yeah, as I said, I'm just trying to find all the opportunities that could happen on my way. And yeah, guys, everything happens for a reason. So I hope my future is still bright and everything will be alright. Wow, my future is still bright and everything's gonna be alright. Oh my god, yes. It was way too hard to find tickets for my train. I didn't even know what is this train, bus, by plane, how should I go there? And I just asked a guy and he said that the maps, they can't find my destination, so for me it would be better to type a station and then to figure out how to go from that station to the circus. And oh my god, yes, I found the way. My train will be here in 45 minutes. It's freaking cold. I don't know where to go, what to do, because the only shop that I found here is Spar, but it's closed. I need to go to the bathroom. I should do something for 40 minutes. I don't know, should I run? Oh my god, here is no one in the metro. Just like... I've never seen that in Copenhagen, guys. No payment, of course. They said maybe they'd need a choreographer for the spring show and that they'd contact me. Spoiler, they never contacted me. They never wrote back. Another failed mission. Well, go on live, finish me off. On New Year's, we had a small concert with our dance group. We performed for around 120 Ukrainian guests and a few Danes. God, how I missed being on stage. But it was just like more of a final dance performance from the dance studio I'm working at, from the Ukrainians. Just like our groups were performing for parents, for friends. And then my girls, the ones I went through all of this with, left Copenhagen. If you remember, they only planned to stay until December. Till the very end, we kept going to that creepy dance studio, and the owners told us it would be rented by someone else very soon, which means no more space to train. No more reason to stay, no more anything. What's the point? What's the point of life? But back home there is war, so what now? My girls went back to their homes and I went back to Ukraine. Air raid alert, missile threat. Well, hello again.